Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. We're going to be talking about the real estate market, and this is based off of I'd say a dumb comment, but was it dumb? Probably not. I'm going to let you guys agree on or figure this one out. Let me pull it up while we're at it. It's based on this video that I just did on First American Title Company, and I said it's huge. And I want to first explain why I would say something like that's huge, because people when we're trying to figure out cycles in economics, I look at indicators that will lead to something into the future, right? And when you start putting puzzle pieces together, you can't see the puzzle as completed unless you can see it. You won't physically complete the puzzle unless you can see it completed in your mind. And how you do that is you find one piece, you recognize what it looks like, and then you look for other pieces that are similar in shape and color to be able to put them together, right? So you put this puzzle together and then everyone else can see it, but really nobody can see it except for the person putting it together, because in their mind, they've studied all of the pieces for so long, they can already see it together in their mind. It's just now taking the picture in their mind, taking the pieces and putting together. Well, when I did that story on First American Title closing its doors abruptly on the 6th of July, and this came from a subscriber comment, and I went and hunted it down so abruptly in Ventura, I said, this is huge. And the reason why, and let me read the comment first. It says, dude, before you scream, you need to do some research. It appears that the office you are talking about is the only one. And what I did is I replied, dude, I had to listen better. I never said the company closed. I said the office did. Man, wake up. Now, the reason why I said that is because you are dealing with an office that made a lot of money at one time. The reason why we know this is because that office is in Oxnard, California, one of the hottest real estate markets in the country. Not only that, First American Title is massive, massive company, which I'm going to start showing you right now. And that is a sign that there are some issues. Now, we know there's layoffs, right? But to close an entire branch so abruptly is pretty interesting. Now, first, we're going to start here. This First American Title Insurance cuts 116 jobs in Santa Ana, California. Now, we're starting here because I couldn't find this again. And this list comes right here from thetruthaboutmortgage.com. I'm going to list it in the description of the video, right? It's a long list of mortgage layoffs, mergers, and closures. It's a great resource of companies that are merging, all kinds of really, really interesting things that are happening in the industry. To keep an eye on, right? But we're going to start going through these stories. And the first one we're going to do is, this is out of NASDAQ.com, but just, it's from Zacks Equity Research. And I want you to understand, this is an advertisement. It's entitled, Why You Should Stay Invested in First American Stock. First American Stock, just, is a title insurance company, right? And it shows right here, all the good stuff. The trailing 12-month return on equity was 15.6%. But I want you to see, when you see trailing 12-month, that's when the market was super hot, right? It says Zacks, the company that I'm not even going to try anymore. You guys can read it yourself. For 2023, earnings per share is pegged at $6.97, right? Which indicates a year-over-year increase of 5.8%. Let me ask you this. Do you think any company in the real estate field, in the industry, is going to be doing well next year? That's what you got to ask yourself first off when you're looking at companies. Now, first off, I also need to say, this is not a solicitation to buy. The Economic Ninja is tongue-tied. You should never take financial advice from me. I can't even speak clearly. But honestly, this is not a solicitation to buy or sell any security. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a dude with a bro hawk and a dream that wears the same clothing and drinks McDonald's coffee. Okay. So, but these are the things that I'm looking at in the industry. It says right here that First American has increased dividends at an eight-year average of 9.3%. The dividend yield is 3.8% better than the industry average, right? Now, this is what's really interesting to me. It says right here, the stock has lost 12.9% in the past year, compared with the industry's decrease of 4.6%. So to say that the stock has been losing more than the industry average is sort of a understatement, right? Now check this out. Obviously, this First American and I've done business with First American before. They're great. I never had a problem with them. Has been the one we were talking about this morning, already been wiped off their website. It was wiped off of Google, and even the employees didn't know until the day that they were let go, right? It was done very fast. Well, I started looking into some stuff about First American, and what's really interesting is they've been acquiring companies. Now check this out. First American announces agreement to acquire Motherlode Holdings Company. This is part of Placer Title. Placer Title is part of Motherlode. I've done business with them as well. This was announced in January, right? So in January, to say that first off, this wasn't the first day they decided it, they announced it that day. So when they came up with this idea to acquire Motherlode, and I want to say this one was for $300 million, if memory serves me right. This was happening. This acquisition really took place when the market was super hot. Then you come over here and you see First American acquires Georgetown Title, another title company, and that one is in Texas. Yeah. And this one was, again, July 2021, a super hot market, right? Well, the reason why I started finding all this stuff was I noticed that not only First American, but a couple of the other big four title insurance companies in the country have been making, doing a lot of M&A work, a lot of acquisitions. And it would make sense, right? They need to grow. You need to keep feeding the beast. They got to keep growing to help, appease shareholders and keep those dividends well and all that stuff. I get it. They got to buy more paper, get a better rate of return. Now, with that being said, it would make sense, especially if they acquired Motherlode and Placer Title has a lot of stuff going on in California. It would make sense that they would start to close offices, right? But you have to think about a couple other things. I found this website that's really interesting, layoffs.com. People talk about layoffs and give their reasons for being laid off or how they're treated. But check this out. I came up with this website. First American off to a slow start in 2022. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Again, not financial advice, but these are the signs when these offices have to close abruptly. It's because they're immediately trying to retain any money or income as possible and let go of employees, because your labor is their most expensive part usually of any of these operations, right? And they're trying to save the bottom line. We saw this with Better.com. Better.com laid off a bunch of people very abruptly over a Zoom call, which I think that guy should be fired as a CEO. Quite frankly, it's not how you treat people, but they did it because they were going public and they wanted to better their bottom line, their numbers before they went public. And I think you're going to see that a lot more in the mortgage industry, right? So check this out. A couple really interesting things. If you guys are still with me, hashtag mortgage, hashtag real estate in the comment section below. So I know you're still with me and I appreciate it. But it says, after a record-breaking year in 2021-22 is off to a slow start for the big four. Title insurer First American Financial, the firm generated $2 billion in total revenue during the first quarter of 22, unchanged from a year ago. Okay, that's a big deal. You'd think that you're like, all right, why aren't you growing? That means that we're at the exact same numbers as we were a year prior. You'd think as this real estate market was booming, you'd be making better numbers, right? It says net income, however, was a different story. During the first quarter of 22, First American saw $98 million in net income compared to $234 million a year ago. So now its net income is dropping, right? So that's interesting. It says I won't read that part. It says, sorry, let me find it. It says during the first quarter of 2022, First American's volume of closed title orders was down 29% compared to a year ago. Think about this. The volume of closed title orders was down 29% compared to a year ago. In the last video, when I was talking about this company, this branch in Ventura Oxnard, is because there's just, First American Title does not have a branch in Ventura. So it's going to be the Oxnard branch that takes up the Ventura titles, right? The closings. Most of their business is refinances. With refinances slumping, and just, they were slumping massively in Q1 and Q2, right? By the end of Q1, refis were dropping off a cliff because we were already at 4% mortgage rates. 3.5%, 4%, no, 4%. By Q2, we were really in it, right? Now you not only have refinancing dropping off a cliff, but you have real estate slowing, sales slowing drastically. Days on market exploded, right? They got wider, which means there's less business going into these offices. It says right here, with 205,000 closed title orders in Q1 of 2022 and 287,000 closed title orders in 2021, this overall decline can primarily be attributed to a 62% year-over-year decrease in refinance orders and a 5% decline in purchase orders. So exactly what I just said, all right? It says, like other Big Four members, Stewart, First American's commercial title volume and revenue saw big improvement from a year ago. In Q1 of 22, the firm's commercial title segment generated $242 million in revenue compared to $163 million a year ago. Now, I want to bring this up. I've been talking to you guys about the CMBS market for quite some time, and I believe that you're going to see a shift, very serious shift downwards in commercial real estate. And I think it's already starting because volume is picking up. Companies that no longer need commercial space to house employees because they're teleworking, they can start liquidating some of these properties. So I think that's very, very interesting. But I wanted to bring all this to you guys. And again, I'm going to end on this. I'm going to put this website up. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put a few of these up in the description of the video. But this is what you need to be watching, where we're at right now. I'll give you an example. This is a good thing. There were some 86,000 mortgage jobs cut in 2007 and countless more in subsequent years after Bear Stearns, Countrywide, and all those companies went broke, right? What's going to be interesting is to watch the sheer number of layoffs that happened in 2022 and how they compare to this number right here, 86,000 that were cut in 2007, because 2007 was really the big year for layoffs during the Great Recession. So anyway, I hope you guys got something out of this. If you did, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate everybody that's giving the thumbs up. All the new subscribers, welcome. I hope you have an awesome day. With that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.